Hello, Matt Davis here with more quiz help. This one is coming from the Chapter 9 review quiz. Suppose that we are testing the claims HO is that P equals 0.4 against the claim H1 that P is less than 0.84 and that our sample produces a P hat of 0.9191 and we're using a sample of size 136. Let's calculate the value of the test statistic and round our answer to 3 decimal places. So first, just a quick change in the interest of giving help rather than answers. So we'll change our sample size and we'll work with an N of 147. So on this one, they want us to calculate the test statistics. So we just need to figure out what setting are we in. And they've given us the claims, so we can see that it's a claim about P. And so if it's a claim about P or proportions, then our test statistic formula would be Z equals P hat minus the claim value of P0, divided by the square root of P0 times Q0, divided by the sample size N. So we just need to assemble those pieces, and then we're ready to go. And most of them are given. So P hat, 0.9191. P0 is not quite stated, but it is given. P0 is the claimed value from H0. So here's our H0, so there's the claimed value. So P0 is 0.84, and then we have our N of 147 right there. So those are all the pieces we need. So let's just go ahead and jump in and get started. So for the P hat, 0.9191 minus the claim value of P, 0.84, and then drop down into the denominator. Make sure that you're noting that it's P0, which matches the second piece. So that was our 0.84 over here. So we're going to do 0.84. When you do the next number, that is always times the first number, or times 1 minus the first number. So 0.84, subtract that from 1, you get 0.16. So your Q0 right here comes from 1 minus your P0 right there. All right, and then divide that by our sample size, which was 147. So we'll go to the calculator. A couple things to remember: parentheses around the numerator, parentheses around all 3 of those numbers before you end the square root. So let's head over there and give that a go. So open parenthesis for the numerator, 0.9191. minus the claim value 0.84 in parentheses to make sure that numerator gets computed before the division. And then the denominator has a square root that automatically has an open parenthesis. So I'll type all 3 numbers before I close that. So 0.84 times 0.16 divided by 147. And then I close the parenthesis after all 3 numbers are inside the square root. So our test statistic is 2.615, but the 5 is followed by a 9, so we'll round that 5 up and do 2.616. So our test statistic is approximately 2.616. And that's all they asked us for here was the test stat, so we're not doing the full thing, just that piece. So that number right there is the one that you would enter into active learning. A few places where this might go wrong. Sometimes in the denominator, instead of putting this 0.84 right here, sometimes people will put the P hat there instead, and that's a mistake. Sometimes when people are doing the Q0 right here, they do 1 minus P hat instead of 1 minus the P0. And order in the numerator, don't mix up your P hat and your P0. If you switch those, it'll change the sign. And then remembering parentheses on your calculator. All right, I hope somewhere in there you saw the spot that was giving you trouble. Good luck as you head back to the quiz.